today we'll discuss about how we can, last minute preparation. That means if you're going for exam, what you need to focus in last minute. It's not last minute. That means 1 week before. Okay. And also I'm going to cover some hot topic, which is very necessary for this exam. If you want to pass this exam, that hot topics you have to, you can say it's a very good command on those topics. And definitely we are going to discuss some questions. Okay, so let's start. So you know that about InfosecTrain it's an that non-brand where if you want to do any training, you can actually get here. So according to your requirement, InfoSec can drive the training. Okay, so you know that our endorsement, that more than 4 years and more than 200 course offering, more than 70 plus pool of trainers, every type of trainers. If you want management type of training, you will get. If you want core technical training, you can get. Okay. Now our trusted clients, the Tata Communication, Ericsson, we are also a part of government sectors like Air Force, Navy, then your NSE, SBI. So all are trusted client. Actually, we are driving training for them. So why InfosecTrain? Because you know that the end-to-end training delivery. It's not mean when training will finish and you will not get support. Anytime you can reach out to your trainer, they will guide you. Okay. Now, CCSP, Certified Cloud Security Professional. Generally, I said that for CISSP also, and I am saying the same for CCSP. If we understand all about CCSP, that means our more than 50% work has done. That means you can say the achievement hidden secret inside CCSP, Certified Cloud Security Professional. Now, little bit I elaborate. There are two types of professional in our organization because we are technical people. We are working, we are driving everyday technical, technical walks. We are working in organization where you have to speak technical things, right? So we have two types of professional in our organization. You have your security professional, and second, you have a security implementer, right? Security professional and security implementer. Now, first we need to understand what is the difference between both. So when you're talking about security professional, generally when any organization starts something new process and leave it in organization in our day-to-day life, if you are starting something, some new initiative, if you are taking, so what we are doing first, we are thinking about this, what we need to do. So you can say the first we are starting as a vision, right? So when fulfill the vision, what we need to do, we are start doing mission. To fulfill the mission, we are actually making a strategy, and to fulfill the strategy, we are actually making tactical plan, and to fulfill your tactical plan, we are start making our operation plan, right? The same like if you want to achieve CCSP, what we need to do first, this is a vision to achieve CCSP. Then you are trying to convert your vision in mission. Okay, within 3 and 4 months, I am going to achieve. This is my target to achieve CCSP. Then you are making a strategy. Okay, we need a CVK, right? We need some questions set. We need to go for take subscription of your portion, or we have to reach to some training institute, right, to understand about CCSP. So you can say like this is your strategy. Okay, now when you make a strategy, right, then you start actually doing your tactical plan. That means you have to buy book, you have to arrange the book, you have to subscribe your test engine, or you have to reach out any training institute where they can explain about your content, right? Because CCSP always drive in 3C. 3C. First, you have to understand context. Then you have to understand the content. And then you have to understand concept. Okay. First, you have to understand what is the content, what is the whole content about cloud security. Then, no, what is the context? Then you have to understand the content. Okay. Content means, you have to understand the cloud fundamental. Then you have to understand regulatory requirement. Then you have to understand that, all types of standard. Then you have to understand the concept. In all certification, I'm saying the CCSP and CISSP also. If your concept is clear, you can easily clear this exam. It's not difficult. But if you compare with CISSP and CCSP, CCSP is more difficult in CISSP. Okay, I will let you know on how we can actually, make it easy for this. Now, here, the tactical level, your CCSP will work. Here, your role will start. That means cloud security professional role will start in tactical level. And your security implementer role will start in operation level. So for example, if you are going for any certification like AWS also have a certification, Azure also have a certification, GCP also have a certification, right? So these certifications support you to drive the operation. Those certifications will not guide you on tactical level. CCSP guide you to perform your role on tactical level. Now, how? You have to understand the law and regulatory requirement. Then you have to understand what is the risk. Then you have to understand what is your requirement. On base of this, you are actually making a strategy, right? That means you are fulfilling your strategy. Now, if you are able to fulfill a strategy, that means you are achieving the mission. And if you are achieving the mission, that means you are achieving the vision. And vision is all about what? Customer, right? Customer vision. As a customer, you are going to take services, right? If you are going for Azure, maybe you are going for AWS, or maybe you are going for GCP, right? You are going to select services. Now here your role is a start. You have to do due diligence, you have to understand your requirement, you have to do risk analysis, and on base of your requirement, risk analysis, and your regulatory requirement also, you are going to select your services. You are going to select your cloud service provider, right? Now here role will start. Now I will elaborate a little more. In today our agendas, CCSP introduction, CCSP domain and exam tips. Just for last week, and which topic you have to target, and I will give you the hot topic 100% in exam. Okay, 100% you will get those topics in exam, and then we will discuss questions. Okay, now when talking about CCSP introduction. So CCSP ensure that cloud security professionals have required knowledge, skill set, and ability. Now, when talking about required knowledge, skill set, ability, what is the mean? So you know that first, the cloud computing itself, cloud computing. Okay, cloud computing. Cloud means what? Internet, right? It's an internet, and computing means your resources. For example, your CPU, your RAM, your storage. Okay, this is the main. Now, when talking about internet means maybe if you say the user one, user two, user three, you are actually accessing your internet. Okay, and internet means what? Maybe you are going to use AWS, maybe you are going to use your Azure, okay, or maybe you are going to use GCP. Okay, This is services is there, right? Now, what they will actually provide? They will provide infrastructure, right? All are provide you infrastructure. And also, all these company will provide some certification, you know, you can say like AWS, security architect, right? So your GCP professionals, like they are actually providing certificate. But in these certificate will enhance your knowledge about these services, right? What AWS actually providing, what Azure is providing, what GCP is providing. You will enhance your skill set in these, okay, services. But through these certificates, you are not getting a skill set about risk, regulation, law, your BCP DR practices, your physical security, right? All these knowledge, if you want, you need CCSP. That means professional role. And going forward, you know that CCSP will supersede CISSP because everything actually moving on cloud. Why they are moving on cloud? Because of cost. For example, I am driving a training, right? And tomorrow, Praveen can reach out to me and said, okay, KK, you are driving a training, you are using huge infrastructure. Your work is just driver training. Why you are not expending your money to hire a new trainer, right? Why you are investing your cost to build the infrastructure? You can use my environment and you can start driving. You can use those money for other resources, right? Same thing already start happening in the market, so that all organizations start moving on cloud. And best in the resiliency part, that they are using on-prem in some services, and they are using more than 75% services in cloud, so that if something happen on-prem, they can easily use your resiliency. That means BCP and DR they can maintain, so that your CCSP will help here, because these certification is not going to help to understand your regulation, risk, how you are going to assess the risk, how you are going to understand the physical security requirement, how you are going to maintain BCPDR, okay, and definitely another technical things, right? Because they will not teach you what is vendor locking and vendor lockout, what is interoperability. They are not going to give clear visibility. Definitely, they are actually discussing you about services, like what services you are using. So, for example, you are using cloud, right? You are using cloud. So, if you are one user is India, one is US, and one is EU's country trying to access these services, cloud services. So, your as a CCSP, your responsibility to guide, understand. Definitely they are going to use maybe ask, maybe pass, maybe SAS, right? But which base you are going to select, ask, pass and SAS? Who will guide? CCSP will guide on base of their risk assessment, on base of their understanding the requirement, on the base of the physical security requirement. You know that the CCSP always walk in two mode, your customer centric mode and your provider centric mode. And both places CCSP is needed. That means cloud security professional is needed, because they will understand, first they will understand the requirement of their requirement, and they understand the data center requirement. You know that, for example, this is a data center, and data center have a racks, right? On racks they have a hypervisor, and in this the server is there, and then application is there, right? But CCSP first understand about the physical requirement, right? Physical requirement. You know that uh, Uptime Institute standard, they have a 4 tier, This is a hot topic, 100% testable in exam. 2 questions minimum you will get, right? So no your AWS GCP, certification will give detail about OpenShift standard. No, in CCSP you will get. You understand which tier is your requirement. For example, if you are working in health industry, so which tier is the most important? So tier 4 is most important, right? You need 99.99999 uptime. So as a CCSP, you will get clear visibility. You will not get AWS and Azure or GCP certification. Okay, so that CCSP is the most important as a cloud security advisor role. So during exam, and if you are going to prepare CCSP, your thoughts should be as a cloud security advisor, not cloud security implementer. Okay, now, so CCSP has domain, total 6 domain. So you have a cloud concept, architecture, and design is cover approx 70%, and this is the most important domain, because if you don't have a clear understanding in domain one, it's very difficult for you to actually clear this exam. You know, and for example, you know that the AS, PAS, SAS, you'll get approx 6 to 7 questions. 6 to 7, I am saying you'll get. So you have to understand what is the AS, what is the PAS, and what is the SAS. Okay. Second, your cloud security. That means your, all about your data lifecycle. This is very important. Then you have understand the platform and infrastructure. How platform you build, how infrastructure, security you can ensure, right? Then you have your application security, right? You have a server. Now on server you are going to host application, right? So, and maybe you are going to take you are going to host, or maybe you are going to take your application based services through SaaS. So you have to ensure how you are going to uh, make robust security posture, how you are going to ensure uh, all those security parameters, right? Same your cloud security operation. This is a very pain point for all security professionals. Okay, where you have to give more, you know, more, you can say like more time to understand. And then legal risk and compliance, right? So it will, you have to know HIPAA, you have to know GDPR, you have to know your FISMA, right? You have to know OECD. All are testable in exam. Okay. Now, so before going to moving forward, I would like to highlight some hot topic which is the most important for exam. 100% you will get the questions, right? I'm not going to say domain wise, but I'm going to highlight you can say as a mix, so that you can actually focus. If you are going to give write this exam within 1 week, or maybe next month. Okay, the first you have to focus 100%, you will get in exam your hypervisor. Approx 2 to 3 questions. You know the hypervisor, type 1, type 2. Okay, hypervisor attacks is the most important. Then you will get a question about your management plan. Okay, I am saying exact topic I am saying. Okay, you will get approx 2 to 3 question about drag and drop. Mainly they will cover your data lifecycle. Data lifecycle. CSU, SAD, right? Create, store, use, share, and archive. Okay, then you can get FIPS. 100%. One question, 100%. And if you see these topics, it will not take too much time to prepare. Then you will get universal topic, SDLC, approx 3 to 4 questions. And if you're talking about SDLC, why I said okay, why I'm saying SDLC? Because SDLC question, if you are going for CISSP, if you are going for CSAM, if you are going for CISA, if you are going for CCSP, you will get question. Okay, the SDLC is the most important. And what is the difficulty part in SDLC? Because the terms. Okay, and I'm saying terms means that CISSP or CCSP both exam 50% English test. If you understand the questions, what they are saying, you can easily uh, select the right answer. So my advice is, if you are reading question, read minimum 2 times, because you know that if you select answer and if you move forward, you can't go back, right? Because review option is not there in CCSP. So maybe you can take your time, because you have enough time. No, 150 question, 4 hours. We have enough time. You have to ensure you are going to your response is right. Trying to eliminate first two wrong answer. I always said that if you are going for any certification, don't try to select the right answer. Always try to find out which answer is wrong. Okay, C is wrong, B is wrong. That means A and B. Select best one. Okay. So this is some methods we are trying to just highlight. Now, SDLC phases 3 to 4 questions you will get. Now you have your BCPDR, BCPDR, 3 to 4 questions, 3 to 4 questions you will get from BCPDR. PCI DSS 1 to 2 questions. GDPR approx 3 to 4 questions you will get from GDPR. Okay, then you have a SOC. You know that SOC report, type 1, type 2, SOC 1, SOC 2. You can get 100% 3 questions, 3 to 4, minimum 3 to 4. Then your storage type, right? Object storage, your volume storage. You have clear understanding about this. Then you have your container, approx, container 1 to 2 questions, 100% you will get. Then DRM, DLP, approx 2 questions you will get this section. Then some you have a like tokenization, masking, right? Tokenization, masking, you will get 2 to 3 questions. Then you have a API. You know that cloud is a game of API. So API you will get approx 3 to 4 questions. You have a clear understanding about the rest of API and SOAP API. Why REST is better than SOAP? Where you can use SOAP? Where you can use REST? What is the default security you have to apply? The best practices, if you are going to use API, you have to know as a security point of view. Then threat modeling, mainly you have Pasta and Stride. Clear understanding about this. Approx 2 questions you will get. Okay. Then you have a supply chain attack. Your Agile, DevOps Agile. These all your SDN CDN. 100% you will get question from this area, and definitely your identity and access management like SAML, SSO, right? You have to know. This is a very important topic. You will get 100% in exam. Okay. Now, if you got the hot topic and if you have a very good command on all these topics, you can easily, clear this exam. But they never ask any straightforward questions. They never ask any straightforward question, so that you have clear understanding, conceptual understanding. Okay, clear conceptual understanding you have, then you can easily clear. Okay, now you can start questions. So okay, So question is saying your organization is using public cloud services and you are responsible for safeguard company IT cloud operation. That means you are a cloud security professional, right? Your responsibility to safeguard. Okay. You need to maintain regulatory requirement of e-discovery, right? Which of the following most accurate description of e-discovery? That means they are saying what is e-discovery is. Now, you have to clear understanding about e-discovery. Question might be asked, they will give a scenario. You are a security professional, okay, and you got notification from, regular, you can say law enforcement agency. What is your primary action you have to perform? Such question you will get. Okay, so here is saying e-discovery. So first you have to understand what is e-discovery. So e-discovery is all about you are actually securing a data, you are collecting a data, you are analyzing a data as a part of your civil or criminal or legal cases. So for example, you get notification, or you can say in any mean, if you get any communication and the law of the land, okay, as per law of the land, and you are getting communication from government agency, they are saying we identify, you observe some anomalies, you have to, we need data from your organization. Now what is your action you have to do? This is a part of your e-discovery. Okay, so e-discovery is all about, that means you have to collect your electronic data, secure your electronic data, you have to analyze your electronic data as a part of any civil or criminal legal cases. That means if you are receiving any lawsuit, government investigation, or and other legal proceeding, you have to protect those data. Okay, now what's saying discovery all type of data that organization has on cloud? This is saying all type of data, no, right? It's not all type of data. It belongs to your legal proceeding, right? Okay, obtaining data to be used in legal proceeding, yeah, this is you can park. Obtaining data which reside public, no, not all data, right? The e-discovery itself is a legal proceeding. You are going to collect, you are going to secure, you are going to analyze as a part of your civil or criminal legal cases, right? Okay, discovering the data capability a specific cloud service provider, no. So what is the answer? Best answer is B. Okay, so you know the what is e-discovery, but question might be asked in different way. So if your concept is clear, you can easily identify what is the answer. Okay, so your, always remember C3: context, content, and concept. And the clear the concept, you have to do more questions. And the problem is that very limited resource available in market for CCSP compared to CSSP. CSSP will get huge, but CCSP very limited. Okay, question is talking about during application development. Okay, application development, that means they are talking about SDLC, right? Okay, the define phase is an important phase where security must be considered. Okay, definitely you have to consider in your initial phase, and here talking about define phase. Okay, what is the first activity you should consider while performing development phase? Now you know that they are playing with words. If you refer the books, you will get different keywords about your SDLC phases. Okay, so first phase you can say in many books say planning. Okay, it's also you can say like your initiation. Okay, you can say like your project initiation. Then second phase is saying your requirement phase, or you can say functional requirement phase, or you can say your defining phase. Third, why I'm highlighting this? Because keywords is most important. They will confuse always. Okay. Then your some say your system design. Okay. Or you can say designing phase is the same. Okay. Fourth is your development, or they will say developing phase. Okay. or they can say development and implementation phase. Many books you will get. I'm not referring NIST. NIST, you know that you will get totally different. Okay, not totally different, but phase will reduce. Okay, then you will get your testing and evaluation phase. Then you will get your transition and production phase. Then your operation and maintenance, right? This is all about your SDLC phases. This one is SLC phases, you can say. Okay, now here talking about application development. Question is saying, what first activity should consider when you are doing development phase? Okay, so in development phase, what do we need to do first? Because here, security, you are considering, you have identifying that all potential risk and everything in your first two phases, planning and initiation phase and function requirement. I am not going too detail. Okay, I will tell each and every phase also. For planning phase, you know, main project scoping, you have to understand the benefits, what is the economical benefits, you have to understand the cost benefit analysis, what is the all requirement you have to understand. Defining phase, you have to understand, that means here you have to understand business requirement, what is the feasibility, what is the stakeholder inputs. Okay, uh, you know, what is the application security, everything you have to understand here. Then system design, you are just making design on paper. Okay, where you have to do threat modeling. This is a very important statement, and you will get approx 1 and 2 question about threat modeling. Okay, which phase, as a security professional, which phase you have to ensure threat modeling must be carried out, and they will give system design, development, testing, and planning phase like this. So you have to select design phase. Okay, then you have a development phase. Development phase where you have to write a code. Development phase, you have to write a code. When you write a code, you have to perform review, and first action, peer review. That means you can say you are writing a code and your colleague will review your code manually, and the best code review method is peer review. Now, the first is saying the answer is A. Now, dynamic testing, always you're testing and evaluation. So this one out. Identify potential risk. You are going to planning and functional. So this one out. Unit testing. After peer review, you are going to do unit testing. Unit testing, you what? You have a different unit. You are going to test, is it working or not? If it's working fine, then you are going to go attach two unit together and you are doing integration testing, right? So this is all part of your development and implementation. So you have such command to cater, you know, to tackle SDLC question, and 4 questions you will get. Such understanding you required. Okay. Now, so answer is A. Okay. Try next. Question saying, which of the following is powerful tool, okay, which should be regularly logged, monitor, and that provides single point of access. Okay, this is the keyword. Single point of access is a keyword. Hypervisor. What is hypervisor? You know, hypervisor two types: type 1 and type 2. Okay, but what is hypervisor? So hypervisor always allow multiple OS to run at the same time on the same piece of hardware, right? So if you are hardware, right? So if my laptop is there, I'm going to, you know, install one virtual OS. You can say like your hypervisor, maybe if you are going to use Hyper-V, or maybe you are going to use, what is, Tim? What you are going to use? Anyone? VirtualBox, right? And on VirtualBox, you are going to use multiple OS, and on multiple OS, you are going to use application, right? This is a hypervisor. Okay. Hypervisor provides single point of access? No. Okay, so this one out. Management plane. What is management plane? First, you have to understand. The management plane will actually allow, you know, and control, monitor all your functions. If management plane will compromise, everything will compromise, right? So you can park. Now application plane and data plane. You know the CDN, your CDN part or SDN, SDN part. Okay, your SDN part. What happened? You have your data layer, then you have your control layer, then you have your infra layer, right? That means they will help to manage your network, right? They will improve your performance. They will give centralized, view to control all your your application or your infrastructure. So for example, you are going to install any application in 200 system, so you can use SDN, your SDN technology, and you can install in one go, despite you are going one by one system you are doing, right? So what is the answer? This one, because this one is talking about SDN, single point of access, always management plane. Okay. Okay. Try next question. Question is talking about your organization is migrating their IT operation in cloud, public cloud. Okay. You need to select suitable backup. Okay. That will help you to drive your cloud operation. Which of the following backup directly interact with hypervisor? And to snapshot and backup your VM. So first you have to understand the backup. So if you see the backup, you know, you have a three types of backup. Okay. Agent based, agentless, and your snapshot. Actually, snapshot not a backup, but actually consider as a backup. Okay, the snapshot, when you are performing any patching activity or anything, so you are taking snapshot. So if any you can say any unsafe operation happen or any impact in your system, you can use snapshot to restore your system, right? So, but here is taking which of the following backup directly interact. This is not directly interact. So this one out, snapshot out. VM image the same. You are going to do imaging so that future if any disruption happen or any problem integrity issue happen with your system, you can use that image to restore your system. Okay, so this one also right. This is not interacting. Now we have a agent based and agentless. So what is agent based and agentless? You have to understand. So agent based, that means you are going to store, install agent in every system if you want to monitor, if you want to take a backup. As agentless, you are going to install agent in network so that they will actually monitor and everything. Okay, this is agent based and agentless. But only you can say agentless. That means one single agent you are going to monitor all your infrastructure. But agent based, that means if you have 100 system, you need 100 agent to install individually to perform the task and monitor the task. Okay. So what happened? Agent base is not directly interacting with your hypervisor, because this is a hypervisor, right? This is your OS, and now this is application, right? So your agent is installing here. They are not interacting, but agentless interacting in installing your network layer, which directly interacting with your hypervisor. So answer is agentless. Okay, answer is B. So you have clear understanding what they are asking and what is all about agent based and agentless. Okay. Now, next question is saying your organization is migrating the IT operation to cloud. As a cloud security professional, what is the biggest concern? Hosting a key management system outside of the cloud. That means this is your cloud, right? You have all application, okay, all your system, all your server here. Now, the best practices is and yes, this is application, for example. Now user is accessing the application, okay, and when accessing, you are actually providing data in encryption, right? For example, encryption. Now question is saying you are selecting your key management system in on-prem. Now when user access data, what happen? Your application will encrypt data. For encryption, he will that application reaching to on-prem, taking a key, encrypting a data, and after that provide. This is the scenario they are saying. Now, second scenario, if you see, if you have AWS, your storage, and you are keeping your key management system in cloud, right? Now you have application, user accessing data, and application actually using key which already there in your AWS platform, right? This is a true scenario you can say. So here, what is the impact? Your availability, because you have more time to reach on-prem and then collect a key and then encrypt a key, right? So it will biggest concern about availability. Vendor lock-in, you know that. Vendor lock-in is something different, right? If you are using AWS and you want to shift your services on Azure, but you are not able to easily migrate, okay? So this is your vendor lock-in. Vendor lockout, that means you are using services, but at the same time, some regulatory problem or some market exit, you are not able to access your services. So both terms you have to know. Okay, confidentiality, integrity, availability, you know. Okay, so availability is the answer. Your biggest concern is availability. Okay, question is saying a security professional is reviewing a process related to data security in data lifecycle. So if talking about data lifecycle, CSU SAD, right? CSU SAD. That means create, store, use, share, archive, and destroy. That means destruction. You have to remember, for example, point of view, drag and drop. They will give scenario like this. Okay, and they will give one, only four. Yeah. Create, use, store, and archive. And you have to select the statement. Okay. Now here is saying use phase. Which statement actually supporting use phase? Use phase means what? Use phase means data, data is view, data is process, and data is modified. And you know that is the most vulnerable phase is use phase. So if you want to protect your data, you have to use DLP, DRM, IRM, right? And you have to mask, right? You have to mask. So all these topics you have to know, uh, you have to understand. For example, point of view. Okay. So encrypted data. Encrypted data means what? This generic word, encrypted data. They are not saying you are going to share data or you are going to transfer in system A to system B. They are not talking about, right? Encrypted data may be a storage also. So you can say this is one type of rest also. Data is in a hard disk and it is encrypted form. Okay. So this is not, you can eliminate. Data is written in a storage. So that means there is no any form. A storage is there, data is there. Okay. Now, data is sent to different environment. That means they are transferring, sending A to B. Maybe you can say cloud to on-prem. So this is a share phase. So this one also out because they are talking use. Now answer is C. Data is accessed by client in application. That means application there and Yogesh is accessing, Deepak is accessing, Tanya is accessing this data. Okay. Accessing means what? They are maybe reading a data, right? Okay. So answer is C. An exam also, you get a seat, you will get a very good marker. You have to draw. You have to understand the question, and after that, you have to give answer. Always trying to find out which answer is wrong. Okay, this is the best approach to achieve any certification, not CCSP. I'm saying all certification. Okay, the question is saying an organization is migrating their application on another cloud provider. Okay, that means you have a AWS and you are migrating to GCP. Okay, you are migrating to GCP. Okay, the application is containing sensitive data. Okay, maybe PIA, maybe PHI, right? Sensitive data you are covering. Okay, which need to perform secure destruction. That means you have to delete or destruct, right? After migration, when you done, you have to delete. You have to destruct from there. Okay. Which of the following approaches would not be considered to sufficient to meet the requirement? Okay. So you know that the best method is crypto erasure. So this is meeting. Okay. Now zeroing. Yes, because if you're not able to do crypto erasure, then you have to do zeroing. What is the zeroing? So for example, you have a data. Your data is in this form 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? Bits and bytes. Now you are just actually adding some value 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So you know gyro method in cryptography, it will come, right? Like this. You can do double time. It's your on choice. You can do this. Okay. So this is all about your zeroing. Now overwriting, you know that you have to override data. Okay, so this one also deletion. That means they are saying control all delete. This is the least effective, right? So this is the answer. Because you can't go physically and destroy the hardware, right? In cloud service provider. Okay, so this one is right answer. Great, thank you. Okay, so next question for you. Yes. So saying in cloud computing, security is based on shared responsibility model. Okay, which of the following control that usually responsibility of CSC, that means cloud service consumer team? You have to remember and you have to understand share responsibility model for this exam. Approx 3 question you will get from this section. Now how you can remember? I am giving trick. Yeah, I have a lots of thing, lots of trick you have to remember for exam point of view, but this one I am giving shortcut. you know you have to anything in data center, it will start with your physical security, right? The physical security, then what you are going to do, your infra security. Then you are going for, on infra you are going to develop a platform. Okay, then on platform you are going to mount application, right? The application you are going to use a data, and maintaining you are going to do GRC. This is a model. Now you can write here your AS, then your PAS, and then your SAS. Okay, now always remember 3 2 1. Okay, 3 2 1. What is 3 2 1? So that means here you can see your CSP. I'm writing P, 3 2, okay, and 1. And then you can do 1 1 1. Okay, I will explain what is the 1 1 1. That means here you can put your share responsibility. That means CP, right? Then here CP and then CP, and other all are C. Okay, that means in PAS the platform responsibility provider, in SAS, okay, infra totally provider, and physical security totally provider. Same in PAS, infra totally provider, physical security totally provider. Platform is a share model, and apart from platform everything CCC. So always remember 3 2 1. An exam, immediately when you are going to get a question, draw this, because sometimes you will get confused. Draw like this, and after reading you can. And why I'm saying draw, because if you draw you will get 3 questions related to, easily relate, and you can respond. It will be you will get very less time to response. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, this is also part of a strategy. So we have a different such type of trick also. Okay, so saying cloud service provider, usually, so the cloud service provider or responsibility, you can say, consumer is all about GRC, all, right? That means the data access part is all. So answer is this one. Apart from that, hosting, your hypervisor, your producing security, all are one type of share responsibility, or you can say is a provider responsibility. If you go with detail, which I explain here, if you make this table and if you relate. Okay, the answer is C, which usually and always, user access is a part of your cloud service consumer. Cloud service consumer. Answer is A. Okay. Question is saying auditability. Auditability in the cloud should require very close attention to security professional because of share responsibility model, right? Okay. Which of the following best capability will be provided by CSP to customer while using cloud service provider? Using cloud services. So this is the keywords. CSP to customer. So as a security professional, when you are going to take any services, you have some, certain parameter you have to ensure before going to take, right? First, you are going to ask SOC report. On SOC, trying to evaluate 5 trust principle. You are going to do this. So you have to understand. Okay. Now, if you see here, physical security totally lies with provider. Capturing and reporting. Capturing and reporting. This is a share responsibility. Okay. Patching capabilities. It's also share responsibility. If you are using pass, you have to patch. If you are using AS, also you have to patch. But if you are using SaaS, because here is not talking about which services. Okay. But reporting and login you have to ensure, right? And CSP responsible to provide your reporting, logging, auditing capability to give to consumer. Okay. So as a security professional, you have to always ensure reporting and logging. Okay. Okay. Next question. They're talking about legal hold. What is the primary action as a security officer when your organization receive legal hold notification? Earlier discussed, e-discovery. Legal hold means this is a process you are going to preserve your data during any legal investigation. Okay. So you have to preserve. Question is saying modifying the relevant data according. No, you can't modify it. So this one out. Okay, no need to, yes, you have to take action. So this one also out. Archive protect relevant data in accordance with requirement. Yes, you have to, accordance requirement, you have to archive and you have to protect those data. And send, no, you can't send. The answer is C. Okay. So question is talking about from security perspective, the most CASBs are able to enforce policy related to single sign-on, encryption, logging, prevention, and many more. Okay. Which of the following CASB install certificate on every device that need to monitor? And see, in CCSP, you will get approx 30% question is technical, not too technical, but you have to know the terms. It's not mean you will get all management question. No, you will get approx 30% question, approx 30 question. I'm saying technical question you will get. That means you have a very hold, strong understanding about those topics. Okay. Now, question is talking about which are the following CASB. So first understand the CASB. So we have 3 types of CASB. I'm not going to too details. Your forward, then you have a reverse, then you have a API base. Web proxy, you know that maybe is firewall also. So this one out. Now you have a 3. So forward proxy, what is forward proxy? You have to understand the forward proxy, very close to user, and reverse proxy very close to your CSP. Okay. And API, you know that if want to one application communicating to other application, we need API, right? Maybe you are using any services in cloud. Okay. So API is not, it's a out. Now you have a forward and reverse. Forward close to user. That means if you are user, you are going to access CASB. So mainly you are using forward because for forward you have to install certificate in every single device. So for example, if you are using 10 device, so you have to install certificate. Okay. And reverse close to CSP, mainly integrated with your identity server. If you are using any services, identity services, if you are using, okay. And here no need to install any certificate. Okay. And if you want to monitor, so you have to install certificate in every device, okay? So answer is forward proxy, because forward proxy you have to install in every device to monitor. Reverse proxy, close to CSP, no need to install any certificate. Okay, an API, you know that if you are going to use one application, no need to actually install anything to any device if you are using API. Answer is B. Sorry. Answer is A. Okay, next question. Okay, question is saying DNSSEC is a technology that can help to prevent DNS attack. Yes. Which of the following primary function provided by DNS to DNS client? You know that DNS, domain name system. Okay. And you know that it also says that with great power comes great responsibility. So protecting DNS is paramount for any environment. Okay. So definitely you are going to hardening your DNS server and everything when you are going to do. But here is talking about what is primary function provided by DNSSEC, because DNSSEC or actually protecting for all type of your DNS attack, maybe DNS poisoning or everything, right? Going to do this. So what is the function? Encryption? No, this is not function. Okay. Hardening the OS? No. Availability controls? No. Signature validation? Yes, because you know DNS, your DNSSEC provide DNS client with cryptography signature that validate your origin. No, if you are going to access, what is your origin and what is the your authenticity. So always remember DNSSEC protect all type of DNS attack with help of signature validation. Okay, that means signature validation about origin and authority. I'm not going detail, okay, but just I am using keywords. Okay, now next question. Question is saying recently XYZ company has migrated few server on public cloud. Few server they are migrated, not all server. Okay, all servers are containing used citizen data. Okay, security officer is reviewing privacy policy to ensure the security of data. Okay, which of the following would most concerning finding when reviewing the policy? Concerning finding. Okay, not been communicated to stakeholders. What not been communicated? Okay, policy not been communicated to stakeholders. Okay, you can park. Not containing the list of applicable laws and regulation. Yeah, we can park. Includes a high level of details. No, high level details is not required. Out. Not been approved by. Yes, your each and every policy must be approved by senior management. Okay, if compared with A and B, D is a more relevant. You are developing policy, but your senior management will approve the policy. Okay, without approving, no one going to, a top-down approach. If you are developing any policy, top leaders will approve and they will actually communicate also. Okay, so it will more impactful, more effectful. Okay, and all these characteristics, that very important for exam point of view. You can get approx 2 to 3 questions. Okay, and very you can say confusing question because they will play with words. So we have a good understanding. Okay, question saying cloud service has a 5 essential characteristics that determine their dissimilarities from traditional environment. Which of the following define a cloud customer can provision computing capabilities such as server time and network storage as needed? You know the rapid elasticity. What happened? Elasticity. It will increase and decrease as per your requirement. So this one out is automatic if service taking. Broadband, that means you are going to access from anywhere. This one also out. Now resource pooling. Resource pooling is all about multi-tenancy, right? Multiple tenants. You have a tenants, and as per requirement, you are getting, right? So this one out. Now on-demand services where you have to provision your computing capability, okay, as per your requirement if you are taking. So answer is B. Okay, next. So you are reviewing a cloud platform where you have observed that abstraction layer on top of networking hardware that decouples the network control plan from data plane. Okay, so they're talking about SDN, right? It's a simple question. Okay, so answer is D. Okay,